mention. Smokes out, paranoia, utility, but there seems to be a point where they might look to just push through this? I didn't expect that. Now Icy has managed to put down 2. It's not the play you expect to see with the Odin. And now Mindfreak's gone as well. The perfect combo. It's left onto the man who started this comeback. Forsaken, 1v4.
Devastating round. Let's see if he can do it. And no, immediately shut down.
Is this the beginning of the end for PRX and W Gaming because they lost earlier today to G2? And to me, it's somewhat confirmed that PRX will not be competing for champs, most likely. And so what went so wrong for them? Well, we're going to take a look here at Lotus. We're going to start with this first pistol round. This was a bit of a rough game for PRX. And many of you will talk about, you know, all the different things that are wrong. It's their comps. It's, you know, Jinx agent pool. It's, you know, their just the overall W Gaming philosophy doesn't make any sense. All that. Many of you will have many thoughts. But the truth of the matter, I think, is this. That if you're not on the same page as a team in Valorant at the pro level, things just aren't going to go that well for you. That to me is just the basic truth. All things else aside, because I mean, this is a decent example right off the rip in the pistol round, right? That you've got Forsaken and Jing, they're the first ones out here, and they're just kind of chilling, almost waiting here to swing together. But what's going to end up happening here is Devi is going to come out on his own. He's going to die, and no one else is even close enough to really even get a shot off at Jonah P, who's about to hit a very nice shot. You know, there's the nice shot from Jonah. Our fade, you know, who's probably shouldn't be the person out there to begin with anyway, right? Our comp, normally, you know, we've got no util for this. You know, we're just out facing it. It's one guy out on his own. We can't get a kill. Okay, they then come into A. You know, the KO knife clears it. They end up on the site. And this next part from PRX is actually going to be pretty good, right? They come onto the site. They're going to get the spike down. We're going to see a nice one-way here from Mindfreak. They're going to plant the spike. Something gets aggressive in heaven just here. And the timing of this KO nade from Forsaken is going to be really good, right? So Forsaken with the KO nade here, you know, kind of separates G2. Good use of our utility here with the one-way. All is good. We're in a 4v4. This is now a winnable round, but again, there's just going to be some small mistakes here that G2 are able to punish.
Something still gets away with one, and the nade is slowing them down. Nice disruption from PRX to start this off.
Jonah P! He's just taken over! 3 headshots already, that Sheriff in his hand. It's looking like it has aim lock, looking for a little bit more, but the trade backs are still good. It might be all on Jonah P, a 4th in the round, and finally he's put down. But Leaf is there to pick up the...
Okay, to be fair to PRX, they get a bit unlucky there at the end, right? Like, that right click is kind of insane. Probably shouldn't have happened. Unlucky. You know, very easily could have won that round, right? But there are still some mistakes here that when they get into a 4v4, just take a look at how something dies, right? I'm going to pause the map right here. You've got something and Forsaken together. They've just got a kill in here, and here's where the disconnect comes, right? This, what you're about to watch, doesn't feel very PRX. Something is going to do like the old PRX thing. He's going to run out here and look to take a fight straight away. Everyone else kind of just cowers and doesn't want to do that. And that's not necessarily the wrong play. That's fine to do if you all do that, but you need to all do that. Right? And yes, someone needs to stay and, you know, hold heaven. That makes sense, right? So you got Jing maybe back here. He's still holding heaven. But those two were just right next to each other. But Forsaken has come this way to kind of come back and play a bit more passive. Something is about to completely swing this on his own and die without a trade possible, right? Partly because of this smoke on the site, but that smoke has been there for a while now. It's actually about to fade after he dies, just here, right? So they know that this smoke is here. Something dies on his own, and then, you know, we're out, and Jonah hits some nice shots. Again, Jonah's hitting nice shots, cool, but, you know, we're at champs, people are going to hit nice shots. That is what it is, right? And yeah, they get a bit unlucky, but I think, again, the thing that I would say about this, right, is just, what would, like, PRX back at last champs, how would they play this post plant in a 4v4? And I can't help but feel they wouldn't do this. Like, that just, like, they would do something like this, or they would stay here and continue to push or something, right? Like, they wouldn't do this, it feels like, in my opinion. Okay, and now let's come to round number 4, and this one, again, we're going to just see some of the problems that PRX can have of just, I don't know, just not playing as a team very well, to be honest. Like, we start off here, we come out towards A, and maybe this is part of the IGLing problem, I don't know, but we get to this point, right? And this KO knife actually did suppress Valen as well, right? Valen was just here. He TP'd back across into this. He gets hit by the KO knife. So PRX, they've managed to come out towards A without having to use too much utility. That's pretty good, right? We get the knife. It suppresses 2. They see 2 people on A. They're like, okay, well, if there's 2 people actually on the A site itself, well, let's not go there. Let's run all the way back to C. And actually, in terms of a macro call, this is a pretty good call by PRX, right? I like the overall idea that they end up going for here. Whoever called this, I think, had a good plan, right? Because if they've got 2 players all the way on A, we can get here before they can. And Forsaken rightfully says to Divide, no, I need this ulti, bro. You need to give it to me, because the thing is, even if we think that both the Killjoy and the Viper are here on C, we've got a KO ult, right? So if this is Killjoy and Viper here on C, you know, we can KO ult them and it's fine, right? They aren't going to be playing around the KO ult. They're going to get suppressed. They're going to have to give us the site, right? But just now, so we get the KO ult, we pop the KO ult. The thing is, let's take a look at the utility that they've got, because MyFreak only has 1 smoke, and that's going to be very, very important for this round, because the smoke that he's going to put out is actually going to lose them this round. The reason we've got 1 smoke is because he tried to put one. I think that this is meant to either go here or here, right? And he's trying to smoke this off in some capacity, but just missed it, essentially, to try and fake like they're still creating pressure out towards A. You can see the trend has actually pinged that down. But of course, it's fine. We've only got 1 Omen smoke. Okay, cool. But we do have a Neon Wall, and we do have 2 Jet smokes, right? So sure, they're not full smokes, but in terms of just like getting us there, getting us onto the site and securing the site, we should have enough here. But you're going to see that there's a lack of smokes there. And the smoke that we do use kind of costs us this round.
Instead, especially after the utility goes down, just going to fall back. I say that, still within the site, who hasn't been spotted again. It's Danger Man, Jonah P.
Yeah, sat in the smoke, waiting for it to fade. It's going to be a duel between himself and Jing, and it's Jonah P to win it, and double up! Devi's gone too! That should have been the trade. And instead, Forsaken as an impossible task. 4 players coming his way, and nade used alongside a reveal. They know roughly where he is, and now the rest of the util comes in. The C's save.
Okay, so let's take this from the moment that they pop this KO ult, and you see we pop the KO ult, the Neon Wall goes up, that's good. Unfortunately, Leaf does well here. He manages to just get these Nano Swarms off, which is obviously going to delay them somewhat. Something dashes in, he doesn't use any of his smokes, right? We put this smoke on the site, and Jonah P, as we see, is able to tuck inside this smoke just here. It's really well played by Jonah P. He played an incredible game. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that, but in they come, right? But then we get this. So MyFreak is actually TP'd here. Now, again, I don't know if this is MyFreak missing his TP and actually he wants to TP inside the smoke, or if he meant to go here, but we haven't smoked this, right? And he does flash this prior. If I come back and show you the map, like, you know, we can see the order of operations. He does go for this Omen flash down here, and then he's going to TP. But by then, the Neon Wall is gone, right? And again, this just feels like a lack of understanding, right? Like, again, something is here. Out here, we have, you know, nothing to defend this, to help us take this site. And he's dying with 2 jet smokes in hand, whilst we've only got 1 smoke here. And we're KO ulting, right? So we should be wanting to dominate this space with a KO ult. They can't even use any util, right? So we should be looking to dominate this space. Instead, we've put a smoke that's allowed a guy to sneak in here that's going to get them 2 kills. And we've got jet smokes that we could use to, you know, help offset some of that, but we don't use them. And it just feels like, again, just a lack of, you know, coordination between the players. And, you know, we end up going, you know, 1 for 2 there. And so that puts G2 into a good spot. Then obviously this cost them, you know, the round as well. And I just think there's so many ways that this could have played out of PRX using their util that this round would have played out very, very differently. But unfortunately, they picked this, which didn't help them at all. And I'm going to show you the very next round. And this round is off a timeout. And almost the exact same thing happens. Okay, let's watch this round. I mean, it is kind of unbelievable when you put it in that context of we're 4-0 down, we just took a timeout, and then this is the very next round, right? And again, they actually, in the start of this round, like if you're looking at Lotus here in terms of like a normal round, they come and take full C control, and they come and take early A control. You're in a great spot 10 seconds into the round. Like on Lotus, you're in a good spot as the attackers if you've done this already. Right? You're in a good spot. And they didn't even need to use that much util again. Right? They've just done that from just running out, essentially. Right? And they take a lot of space there. And now they're going to come back to A. Again, This is a perfectly fine call. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing at this point. Again, though, what you're about to watch is myfreak has just put this smoke on C. Now, again, they've created pressure out towards C. So, again, using a little fake smoke like this, hoping to hold these guys here, is absolutely fine. But when you remember that most teams, when you see them do that, they're playing double controller, right? PRX are not playing double controller. So, again, just take a look at how this round plays out, and you'll see there's a bit of a glaring problem
To be afraid of on the side of PRX. You can see them taking their time and closing the distance. They've heard the reload. They know there's another wave of spams about to go, and they think they've bypassed it, but there's still someone covering it on the walk through. They've seen that one man of something has already crossed. Nightfall to be used, but something's around the back. He's gotten closer than expected. Icy covering it from up top, though. Now they maintain their control, slow the push from PRX, send them in the other direction, but Jonah P waiting as usual on a sliver of HP, and he triples up. Devi, the last man standing. Another unbelievable round from G2. They barely break a sweat unless Devi can turn up the heat, and he doesn't know that there's a player sneaking right around behind him.
They've got the spike as well.
Say it with me, everybody. Jonah P played very well this game. There's another example for you from Jonah right here. But, I mean, the first thing I want to just talk about is this, actually, because, I mean, again, you look at this, like, just look at the map. When something swings that, does he need to do that? I don't know. But it's going to be a theme. And the thing is, like, if we watch the map again, right, he does wait here. He waits till everyone gets here. Okay, so now the rest of the team is kind of with him. You know, they avoid this Omen Flash. They're in a good spot. You know, this Prowler is chasing Trent here. He's in a lot of trouble. We're in a good time to come and really aggro on this site. But what goes wrong? Well, a couple things. One is that everyone else decides that they don't want to do that. Straight away. Everyone else is like, nope. Even before the Fatal comes out. This is the thing. You might think like, oh, they retreat because of the Fatal. But no, the Fatal isn't out yet. And look at where something is, and look at where everyone else is. Right, so already we're on different pages. Yes, the Fatal probably convinced them not to go in, but they had already kind of made up their mind of, well, we're not going in right now, right? For whatever reason that is, apart from something who goes in on his own, right? And then again, what's the second problem with this? Well, as I said, myfreak only had one smoke because that one he put down on C, so Heaven isn't smoked, right? Heaven isn't smoked. Again, we'll just point out that something is going to die with 2 jet smokes in hand. And should he be aggroing this after he just got fade ulted? When Heaven isn't smoked? No, right? Even if there isn't anyone there, that's probably not a good idea. He probably should be looking to smoke himself off and survive until his teammates get to him. But he swings around the corner hoping to catch a timing and, you know, ultimately dies there, as we can see. And you see, like, again, part of the problems that these guys, you know, by the time something is at this point, you know, these guys, they're like, we're done with you. Right, we don't want anything to do with you. Who are you? We don't even know you. We don't even know this guy. Right? They're on their way to B. So they go to B. And then again, though, this isn't like... again, by this point, we're going to B. myfreak does have a smoke now. But we're running into B. Are we smoking anything off in B? No. So Forsaken is looking at Heaven and he dies. Right? Nice by Jonah again. You know, just outplays them. He's the better player. And they're still even hit by this Fatal. I mean, you can still even see, like, they're not slowing down because, like, oh, we got hit by a Fatal, so let's wait, right, till the Fatal goes. We've still got 53 seconds left, by the way, by the time Jing is dying. So, you know, it's like, you know, it's just like, what are we doing, right? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing in this round, to be honest. It feels like we are on completely different pages. We are playing as almost 4 separate teams here. And look, I just want to point out that I'm showing you, like, their worst rounds. Okay, I do want to point that out. I'm showing the bad rounds. Okay, they were not this bad throughout the entirety of the game. In fact, they even brought it back to 12-9, right? And they had some really good rounds on this half, you know, particularly when they went to their defense side, which you wouldn't expect with their comp, but they did have some good rounds on their defense side, and G2 started to struggle, right? And they were proactive, and they kind of, I think, found a sense of their identity again. And they were good. And you get a glimpse of it in this round as well. It's just that also this round is going to feature one of the worst decisions I think I've ever seen in a pro game. So we get aggressive on A and we decide, you know what, with our comp, we need to get super aggressive on A, right? So Forsaken's going to manage to live this and he gets out. He does well then, you know, to survive and make sure he's not dying just there. And we're going to get aggressive on A. We're going to go for an Omen Flash just here. The Omen flash actually misses, but you know, the point is we've got util here, right? We're trying to combo util with someone swinging off it, which is good, right? Jing slides out, he gets that kill. They're then are going to smoke this off. Jing gets out, he walls off, they smoke it off, they run away. Good, right? We get the first kill, we get out. Good. We've dominated A. They're going to have to retake a lot of space if they want to come back out towards A. G2 end up with probably the worst round that they actually could do, which is just, we're just going to meekly come in towards B because we've got nothing else to do and we've got no space and we don't have, you know, potentially the util to come and retake any of it, right? We get the KO knife out towards C. That spots where Leaf is here, right? So, okay, we know the Killjoy is there. In come G2, they're going to come into B. We're in a 5v4. This is a great position from PRX. And they're going to lose.
To be the point of contention. Smokes out, paranoia, utility, but there seems to be a point where they might look to just push through this? I didn't expect that. Now Icy has managed to put down 2. It's not the play you expect to see with the Odin. And now Mindfreak's gone as well. The perfect combo. It's left onto the man who started this comeback. Forsaken, 1v4.
Devastating round. Let's see if he can do it. And
that decision that Devi made there is sacrilegious. It is abhorrent. I cannot believe he did that. It gets worse the more you watch it. Because if you watch it again, what you'll see is that, again, we are in a great spot in the map. We know that this Killjoy was out here, right? So we're potentially ready for any C-Lurk here. They've just come up B. We've got full A control here. So we're in a really good spot. They just used their Omen Flash here. They are about to get pinched in from at least 3 directions, if not 4. They are in a terrible spot. In a 5v4 as well for PRX. And our Fade, and he hears a blast pack here, so don't say he didn't think that they were on the site yet. Because he hears a blast pack, and he isn't out of the smoke yet. So he knew that they were on site. He has a Prowler, a Seize, and a Haunt. Even if he did think that Jing, which to be fair on the map it does look like, is about to walk out with him. Why would you not use util first and then go out? Why not play a 5v4 when you're in a great spot to win this round anyway? I don't know. I don't know. It's made even worse by the fact that Jing just baits him and doesn't go out. I mean, if you watch on the map, it's so funny. Watch on the map, it's almost perfectly timed. Devi is going to step out of the smoke and Jing is going to step back at almost the exact same time. Watch this. Look at that. Look, many of you will say they need to fix this, they need to do X, they need to do Y. It doesn't, none of that matters. None of that matters. The crucial point is they just need to play as a team. I don't care if it's full W gaming. I don't care if they become, you know, the slowest team that's ever played Valorant. Just do it together. Whatever you're doing, just do it together. And your players will probably be good enough that if you do it together, you'll probably win.